So this is a design build class in architecture. So the Design Build Institute here at Ambler is actually a partnership between the Tyler School of Art and the Ambler Campus. The focus of this is actually to take advantage of the facilities here at Ambler that are available and actually leverage some of the design classes from the architecture program to actually build small installations. This class has been really focused on wildlife and habitats for wildlife. And this has really started with a design studio in the spring that actually was the students put together through a design competition. Certain ones were selected, and the ones that were selected are here and being built currently. So, and the hope is that this is the beginning of building an institute that will actually bring together architecture, landscape architecture, and also some of the other programs here at Ambler, such as horticulture, biology, etc. The 4+1 program in the architecture department is actually an interesting program in that the top students that are accepted into this program from the undergraduate receive their bachelor's degree in 4 years, and then they go through a 1-year program, master's program, and that's over a 3-semester period, which starts actually in the summer, right after their graduation from their bachelor's degree. So currently we have just architecture majors in this program. Our hope down the road is to actually merge or work with different departments, that being potentially landscape architecture, actually horticulture, and biology potentially being a part of this. So we want to open this up, but because this is the first version of this, we wanted to really stay with the architecture program, but the desire and the hope and is to make this a more inclusive program. So there's currently 19 students in this program. There is 3 different projects. Each one is focused on different species of wildlife. One is on bumblebees, one is on a wood thrush bird, another is more heterogeneous but is focused on small animals, small species. Each one of the groups has to really take the original design that was created in the spring and actually realize it in the physical world and actually understand how to put things together. So they have to understand the realities of physics, material, mechanical connection. All those things they have to start understanding to put together and realize their visions. Really the goal about that is for the students to really get a handle on the construction process and how that will inform them as architects, as designers, so that it's beyond just the conceptual and the abstract, but actually tie into the realities of making. So the design and build process for the students, the benefit of this is that in school they actually get experience about the realities of making that they need to understand or should understand in the profession, and ultimately how to even have a dialogue with the builders that they are going to be working with to realize their designs professionally. So this gives them a small insight through hands-on experience about that process and that reality, that through that learning process they can actually more easily talk to the contractors that are going to build their projects. Hopefully, aside from maybe the standard architecture or architect-contractor relationship, some of them really will go into actually design build types of businesses, and ultimately be building their own designs. So the students actually designing for wildlife was something that they initially found strange, but actually through really a dialogue and research, they understood in some ways that it wasn't that much different than actually designing for the necessities of humans. That you have to understand the environments that these wildlife actually flourish in, the physical spaces that is required, the materials that are appropriate. So initially they were kind of surprised by this topic of the focus of the studio and the designs. But once they engaged it, we really saw a real excitement of how specific they could get about something they couldn't imagine designing for outside of this class. So, but ultimately, that understanding of designing for wildlife and species and that specificity to it actually was something that we constantly tie back to the realities of designing for humans, and that it doesn't have to be, it can be very specific, you can be very specific. And so in regards to it from a sculptural standpoint, these are art installations as much as they are facilities and environments for habitation for wildlife. And that mix actually is something I think that the students are really enjoying. So the resources that are available here at Ambler are actually really a great benefit to this program and to the students. This is something that the amount of space and resources here that are required for a design build type of class, they're here in this space. And it's actually been really great to see the space be used considering some of what happened in the fall with the tornado and the damage to this facility and the transformation of this facility from a library to a much more open space, and the question of how it's going to be used. So this facility being available, having the amount of space that's required to be flexible, and having the equipment here is all this infrastructure that you actually need, and it was great that it was available. So what I hope to see come out of these projects, and what I hope that comes out of this for the future, is that this is the beginning. This is the beginning to build a design build institute, that this becomes something more substantial, that this class might be one of multiple classes that actually are designing and building, and it might go beyond, like I said, architecture goes on to landscape architecture. It becomes maybe a mixture of different professions or focus programs. But what our hope is, and what my hope is that this is just the very beginning to actually develop something that the results of this can be built around the campus, that are visible to the public, but are also beneficial to the campus and the students themselves, and even for wildlife.
Okay, so last year in the spring, we started this kind of project for installation, designing for animals, and the location was on Young Hines Refuge in Philadelphia, next to the airport. So my project was supposed to be selected to be built on that facility there in the refuge, but for some funding reason it would be a workout. So I was invited again this year to participate with that, so continuing that projects with different students now. So I'm working as assistant teacher with Eric to kind of help come and like bring all this together. So it's a unique experience coming back again from designing now to actually see different work being built. The benefit of design build a studio is really going to help the student to realize how the design can affect the construction process, because they need to be flexible, they need to understand how everything can be put together, because usually when we are just designing in the studio, we kind of have a tunnel vision about we want to make everything, like we want to be creative, we want to be like go wide with the design, like make something beautiful. But then the student, when they try to build all this structure again, they have to be mindful about how they're going to work. So they need to be flexibility, they need to be ability to change, adapt, and also it can be a major design change or it can be just minor stuff to work, make sure it's working. So this whole process can help them when they start practicing architecture, when they put down together a design or a construction set, they will really know what they drawing on paper, and they know how it's actually going to be built. So it's like kind of working with a contractor, but they are being the all contractor right now. The benefit of having this facility and gets the opportunity to really start exploring and having a place that you can really just start putting your design together into work and just practice all the structural idea you had. And like you can see from the mess here, people try different iteration, different ideas. So results, like hopefully will be continue to do that, because it really can help every student to realize that the design process doesn't end there. It doesn't end on the paper. It actually go beyond that. And having this kind of facility is really going to be beneficial for any student. I can't imagine how the students feel, because even me, I'm excited for them. Because when I was told that my project might actually be built, I was really excited about it. So I can't imagine their feeling when they're like really excited about it. Like my design is my project is actually being built and installed, and I'll be able to see it permanently. Also in the school itself, so that even like more meaningful to have that experience is really amazing.